Hey, Mark, John Weller here. I'm so glad you could join me today. We're excited about this conversation. It's been a long time coming. I've been personally building websites in the flooring industry now for about 15 years. And, the dream was always that it would be more than just a website or an online billboard, that the website would become more of an integral part or a tool for you guys to use in selling product and creating a user experience that would help you guys grow your business digitally, and do some of the heavy lifting maybe online, and not just have it left where you guys have to start from ground zero every time someone walks in the store.
Yeah.
So listen, we're calling it digital retailing, and that's basically the connectivity that we're building with our platform, um, from manufacturer to retailer to consumer. And we're really excited about it. We launched our first digital retailing program through the Omnify program with Mohawk, and that's been running now for quite a number of years. And recently, we launched digital retailing with the Dixie Group and the four brands that they have. Um, and we've seen some really good activity with that program. But before we get into that, I'm just, again, wanted to welcome you to the webinar and talk a little bit about your business, Hate Carpet, and how you got into the business. I'm just curious, how did you get into the floor covering business?
Yeah, it's funny. So like you said, Hate Carpet, we've been a family-owned business. We've been around for a little more than 70 years. It's actually my father-in-law's father that started the business back in the day. And so for me personally, my background's actually in technology, which I don't actually think you know that at all,
I
but
do not.
the it was more on the audiovisual, pro audiovisual kind of side of things. So I got hired when the company I was working for went bankrupt, and it was just a temporary solution. I'll just be here for a couple of months, whatever, help out the company, upgrade some tech, that side of things. And over the well, I've now been here 10 years and oversee day-to-day operations for most of the business stuff. And so it's fun. It's totally different than I ever thought it would be. I don't think anybody thinks, oh, I want to be in floor covering, but it's a great job. It's a reliable job. It's a lot of fun. You get to talk with a lot of people. It's great.
That is awesome. I'm very glad I asked that question because no, I did not know that you came from technology into this business. And you probably don't know that I came from 100% flooring. I grew up in the
Oh,
flooring business. My father was a vice president at a carpet mill, so I literally grew up as a baby
funny.
in a carpet mill, and then transferred 15 years ago into technology and started Floor Force. So we took opposite ways
Funny. Yeah.
into this industry. But that's really exciting, and I love to hear, how it's family businesses to me are the unfair advantage that you guys have in the market space. And so,
Totally.
as we continue to build out our platform, we know if we can provide you guys with these tools, that the consumer engages with you. Once they engage with you and understand the difference of walking aimlessly around a box store and the type of individual that they're going to have to engage with there versus the service level and the commitment that you guys are going to have to your business, they're only going to work with you. But we have to get through that first barrier of digitally connecting with them and bringing them down to your business.
Yeah.
So, as I said before, we're brand new in launching the digital retailing with a lot of retailers like yourself, and some of these new programs that we've actually added the newest component, which is the sample ordering part of the digital retailing solution. And so I know it's brand new. We only launched the Dixie program in the middle of January, and I know that you had one experience. So we're not saying that you've made $1 million so far with digital retailing, but if you don't mind, could you share kind of what happened with that first experience?
Yeah, so I'd seen an email come through, hey, we're launching sample ordering on your website. And I was like, oh, that'll be interesting. We'll kind of see what happens with that. And I got the first request, I don't know, it was maybe a week in. I got the first like lead notification, hey, sample order has come through. And I actually went to one of my coworkers. I'm like, are we supposed to do something with this? Like what happened? Like, okay, great, somebody ordered a sample. are we supposed to follow up with them? And so we ended up just sending them an email, hey, thanks so much for sending or requesting samples from our website. Is there anything else we can help you with? Would you like to set up an in-home consultation? Any of those kind of things. And it was crickets. We didn't hear anything back from the customer. It was like, well, okay, well, maybe they just wanted some samples. And maybe a week and a half later, we get another lead, and I see all the leads that come through from our website. And so I happen to recognize the name. I was like, hey, I think that's the same name that was on that sample order. And so we ended up they put in another lead. They said they wanted an in-home consultation at that point. We set up a consultation. The salesperson didn't actually end up showing any samples because they had already ordered their samples from our website and were able to kind of already had the one that they liked selected. We provided the estimate and they moved forward with it while we were doing it. So I'd say from a first experience, like everything about that is awesome. We love the idea of what that is. It also shortens like the appointment time. It kind of makes everything a little bit smoother. But I was talking with a friend last night who I'm actually going out to meet with this afternoon, and looking at doing some just some carpet for their house. And she's already like researched everything about it. She's like, no, 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 I really don't want to learn something from my vendor or whatever. I kind of want to already know something that's going on. Have a better idea of what's actually like, when somebody's talking to me, if I trust what they say, all that kind of stuff. And I'm that way myself too. And so it was just one of those like, interesting that you say that, because like this whole thing I think actually does provide the ability for people to get a sample, to look at it, to kind of already know what they think about some of that prior to me coming out and trying to sell them on something.
100%. Listen, all the data suggests, and you said you personally are like that. To be honest with you, I almost detest salespeople. I hate to say that because I kind of consider myself a salesperson.
Yep.
But when I walk into a store, I almost put up like a defense mechanism where, listen, can you just let me do my own research? And all the data suggests that consumers want to self-discover. And what's really interesting is the time on website when we have visualization, sample ordering, product catalog, and live chat on a retail website, and the majority of products have those features, the time on site goes from 2.5 minutes to 20 minutes. So what we're concluding is a consumer looks at a website that has sample ordering as a different experience than just a website showcasing images and visualization. So listen, again, I told you that, I wasn't expecting you to have a great, like $100 million kind of example of what's gone on, but it's exciting to me that you've just, had your first experience with digital retailing. I think, our challenge as a technology company, as industry, is to educate and at least open people's eyes to where the consumer seems to be heading, and try to provide you tools that give you this opportunity. And just like you were having this conversation with your friend, this is where the consumer's mind is. How can we do things that make them feel comfortable, gain trust in what we're doing, and provide value to them without us selling them anything? And I think, that's where we're going as a company. The good news is there's a lot of manufacturers that are now seeing also this as the need to really get proactive, to start thinking differently and not putting all the onus on the retailer to figure this out, but for them to start working in ways that give the consumer this experience and then drive that opportunity back to you guys. And that's where we're going as our company, and a lot of manufacturers are following suit. So listen, I'm really glad that we got to have this opportunity to have this conversation. I'm glad that you've had this one good experience. Hopefully that's the beginning of a whole bunch more. And I'm really glad to have learned more about you, and that you came from the world into our business. Welcome. And 10 years is a long time, though. It's not like welcome. So you've been in it for a while, but hopefully, the things that we're doing will make it even more interesting with your background, for you to lean in and take this thing to the next level at Haight.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, man, have a great day. I don't want to take up any more of your time. Hopefully we'll have some more stories to talk about. But thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
All right. Take care.
Have a good one.
All right. Bye.